On today's episode, I'm headed to the Okanagan to chase some cats with hounds. My good buddy Adrian Skoke from Global Sporting Safaris lined up this hunt for me, and the area is reputed to have a high population of cougars. Now on this hunt, I'm going to be using my Bowtech Ivashaki Signature Series bow, pulling 55 pounds at just over 270 feet per second. With these modern bows, it's possible to get high velocities at low pound pulls. They're so efficient that even women and small shooters can still use a low draw weight and shoot to long ranges. Now, I've been practicing like crazy and I'm comfortable to shoot out to 60 yards. So, unfortunately, all the rules change once you're cougar hunting. I'm going to show you a few tips and tricks that I use to get ready for that hunt. Now, typically cougars head up a tree to avoid the hounds. So what I do is put a target up in the tree to simulate the shooting angle of a treed cat. Now, one of the most important things to remember is compensating for angle. Now, the true distance to the animal is not the same as the ballistic distance when shooting at extreme angles. When shooting uphill or downhill, you want to hold for a lesser distance. And the easiest way to figure this out is by using an angle compensating rangefinder. So let's get started. What I want to do is pull my bow and get into position just like I was shooting on the ground. Make sure all your contact points are where they should be. Then slowly bend at the waist until you've reached your target and release. Well, we're here in BC in the Okanagan running cats. Really excited. This is actually run like lots of cats before, treed lots of cats before. This is my 5th kick at the can. I do have a little bit of a curse with these cats, but it's going to happen this trip. This is we're out here 7:30 in the morning looking for a track, so hopefully we'll find something pretty decent and be able to release the hounds and tree a cat.
They hadn't been moving until yesterday, and then yesterday there was so much track, it was crazy. Didn't know where to start.
Because you were saying like yesterday it was like minus 32.
Minus 32 in the morning, yeah. It was pretty tough running.
It's nice. I'm just looking at the temperature in the truck right now.
Minus 16, you got like that, yeah. Half the temperature.
Yeah. Well, we spent a long time this morning in the dark looking for tracks and sadly didn't see anything. So we have heard about, we're in this one area, we've heard about this one big cat. They've actually nicknamed him Big Toe, so it sounds really promising. Just on the start of this road, we actually saw one small female track, so keeping our hopes up. What's really exciting about this, I mean, most people are like, oh, you're just driving around, but it's that in anticipation of actually seeing that track and that buildup, and then you spot it, it's like, okay, well, what is it? And then you go and you have to look and you figure out if it's a big track, small track, how old it is, and everything else, and then the adrenaline starts to pump when you realize it's a good track and it's fresh. So, got my good buddy here, my guide, Leo. Leo, what are you hoping for?
I'm hoping we find this track, and that's simple. Like, it's an older cat, it's an older Tom. He's got like, I don't know, just big toes, and they have to be fairly decent, fairly old to be that big. So it's going to be a good cat.
Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Zeiss Sport Optics. We make it visible. Hornady, accurate, deadly, dependable. Coeur d'Alene Sporting Goods, home of the Rocky Mountain Rifle. Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Silver Willow Taxidermy, capturing the memories. Loa Boots, handcrafted in Europe. Deluxe wall tents, built in Canada for Canadian conditions.
Opie, shut up! No!
Sweet. Yeah, that's a good track. They think it's about a day old, so they're going to hope to freshen it up a little bit, but you can't tell. It's been so cold with this snow, sometimes you just can't tell how old it is. So.
Well, we found a huge tom track. I think it's probably yesterday's or the day before, so we're going to hit this other road here, see if we can freshen it up, and if not, we're just going to keep pounding this area until we find him. It's a pretty big cat. Really big cat, actually.
So, came back up here, we're checking out, we found a pretty fresh track of the big cat, at least we're hoping. So we decided to put Duke's nose in it, just see what happens. You never know. We didn't spot it this morning.
Shut up!
But you never know, we could have missed it, but there's no fresh snow, and the snow was blowing this morning and everything else, so it'd be really nice if he hit on it.
Backwards, but I think we need to get on that up road and see if we cut that top road. There's definitely something in it. Let's load up, boy.
Well,
Definitely cold, but
it's probably pretty cold. He didn't really strike on it, so but what we're going to do is try and get to the upper road and see if we can freshen up the track, and hopefully we can. It looks like the big boys. So. Too exciting. Well, we came up the road a little bit, we caught another track and went down this way, so we decided to put Duke on the scent, and he just went flying up the hill and just started howling. So Brody got the other two dogs. He's gonna try and get them catch up with Leo, and game on, baby. That's the big cat, the big cat. Well, we're on the road again. Went back to where we dumped the dogs, and dogs are about a kilometer, well, 1.4 kilometers away in some really steep, nasty country. And luckily Leo looked at his GPS and figured out that if we took another road, it would get us at about the same elevation. So what we're hoping is that it'll dump us out maybe not as far and not as treacherous. So we're on our way in there now, and keep your fingers crossed again. This is really, really exciting. My stomach is turning every way. It's just stay tuned.
Be in for a long day, man.
Oh, what's up?
We might have dogs rocked out. I'm not sure what we have going on, but it's pretty steep country. It's saying they're treed, but I don't think so. I think we're rocked out. They might have it bayed up, but it's not looking good. We're gonna go find out. Keep losing communication with them, so.
How far away?
1.2 kilometers, so that's not too bad, but.
Depends what's between here and there.
Yeah, exactly right, yeah. You might be packing me out.
Well, this is as close as we're gonna get. So we're gonna hike her in. Showing the cats and the dogs, I should say, are about 1.3 kilometers away. So the guys are already starting to hike in, and the only problem is one of the guys is saying that this is where there's a lot of cliffs. So it could be that the dogs are completely cliffed out and the cat's not even here. So, but let's hope that that's not the case. pretty, but it gets you to the bottom. I made it, and I didn't break an arm.
Sometimes the cat wins.
Yes. I look really pretty. Oh, we got a long way to go yet before we get out of here. Oh, but.
So tell us about that little journey.
Oh, so last time I left you guys, we were way at the top of that thinking, oh, okay, well, it's easy hike in 1.2 kilometers, but at the same elevation as the dogs. Unfortunately, cat jumped the tree, came all the way to the bottom, and then went up the other side. We got 2 dogs. We still got to get the other dog. And we've got, I don't know, less than 5 minutes daylight. So we got to get hoofing it. We'll meet you back at camp.
Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Midland Radios. Put yourself in the action. Defense Aerosols, your pepper spray professionals for 25 years. Probably what we didn't tell you last night is it was bad coming down. Those dogs got that cat up in the cliff, and we went down to where the dogs had it, and the cat had either been bait up and left or jumped tree or did something, but 2 of the dogs came down, and that's the way we ended up coming off the mountain, and it was bad. I mean, one wrong step and you were dying there, and one of the other dogs kept going up, and figured he might have still been on the cat, so he came within 300 yards of us last night, but he just couldn't get down, so we figured, he'll find his way down. They always do. So we went looking for tracks today, found a few tracks, and nothing that was worth running though, so Leo and I just walked back up, and we walked in about 2.5 kilometers, and he hasn't moved, probably in close to 16 or 18 hours now. He's hung up on a ledge somewhere, so there's no way we can physically get to him. Where we came down last night was pretty much bad enough, and where he is now, if he can't get off there's no way we're getting to him, so doesn't look good.
So too cool this morning. We guys walked up the hill a little bit and they could hear crows and stuff, so they thought there might be a kill up there. All we've seen is female tracks everywhere. So we left Leo at the truck to have his lunch, and we said we'll just go for a little bit of a walk, and we hiked up there. No cameras, no nothing, and we came 60 yards eye to eye to a small female. One I would never take. She's just 80 or 90 pounds, but Leo's got a young puppy here, and it'll be great training for her, and it's only about 400 yards up here. So
we got up there, let the dogs go, and it's kind of scary. The cat had actually come right over to where Vanessa and I were standing, so kind of glad we got out of there. I mean, cougars usually aren't too scary, but you never know when one's that brave. So the dogs ran about 700 or 800 yards, and they're all showing tree right now. So we came back down to the truck and gonna see if we can drive a little bit closer.
good boy, good boy, good boy. Oh, it's been an emotional couple of days. When we finished off the day yesterday, we left a dog on the mountain, and we were pretty sure we weren't going to recover him. In fact, Leo phoned search and rescue last night, and at one point they were saying that they were going to come out and get him. And when they got the coordinates of where he was, they were saying, no, it's too dangerous to go get the dog. And it was really hard. You know the dog's up there, you know he's still alive. But there's nothing you can do except hope that he'll find his way down. And we were pretty sure he was up on a cliff, stuck. And it was kind of like, hopefully he takes that leap of faith and makes it down. So we started hitting the tracks this morning and hoping, and one of the guys went out and checked and honked his horn and let off a couple of rounds and hoped that the dog answered, and nobody heard anything, and went a little later in the day to check, and all of a sudden they heard him. The story we've gotten, and we haven't heard the full story yet, was that he did make it down the mountain on his own, was on the other side of the river. One of the guys went and got him, and we just brought him back into camp, and it's a great day.
Outdoor Quest TV is brought to you by Safari Club International Canada, first for hunters. Alberta Outdoorsman Magazine, Alberta's only hunting, fishing, and trapping magazine.
Well, we gone through all kinds of weather this morning. We were up so early trying to beat the snow, and we heard it was supposed to snow between 7 and 9 this morning, and we pounded the roads hard and just couldn't find anything. Deer were moving and the cats just weren't. And it's now a little bit later in the morning. I think it's about 11 o'clock, and we've found this one really, really fresh track. So we're gonna let the dogs loose on it and see what we end up with. It's my last day, last couple of hours before we drive home. So keep your fingers crossed that this cougar curse ends today, here and now.
Here you go, get the gas! See, my pup's actually right with the lead dog right now, so.
It's not necessarily about getting the cat and killing the cat. It's all about running these hounds and getting them trained. And these guys, as soon as they see a cat track, the adrenaline starts to pump. You can see like the houndsman gets so excited. And so whether I take this cat or not, no big deal. It's still a lot of fun. Gotta get my gear ready now. They're showing trees, so get the bow. This curse is gonna end, hopefully. Well, you know, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what it is first.
There's a cat!
Well, they got it done. That's pretty awesome. That cat is up there though. I think I've got an open enough space that I can actually thread an arrow through there, but it's right between those few branches. She's just like it's like right all open here. You ready? So as you guys saw, the cat fell out of the tree and just over there. So we're gonna bring it up so that the new pup can have a little bit of a worry, and all the rest of the dogs can too. And, Give them their just reward as well. They worked hard. Wow, what a tough few days it's been. We went from -30, -23, brutal snow conditions, absolutely no snow for the first 6 days. And we were just about giving up hope and went up this one road and saw this track, and we weren't sure if it was a mature female or a young tom. And we got, a couple young dogs with us, so we really wanted to run that track and just give them some training and see what it was. And tough shot though. It was like 43 yards away. And so I had to hold at 23 yards. That's how steep it was, and I didn't have much of a shot, but this goes with my Cougar curse. This was my 5th time at it, and it was last hours, the last day. We got her done.
We did. We got her
We
done.
broke the curse.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Leo. You have been awesome. You worked your butt off. For more information on this hunt, you can contact Global Sporting Safaris. We'll have all their information at the end of the show.
For more information on these great hunts in British Columbia, check out Global Sporting Safaris online at gssafaris.com. Or better yet, contact our good buddy Adrian Skoke directly at 888-850-HUNT. Check us out online at outdoorquesttv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter.